buttons to push before the stuff works. I get confused every time.
Tell, I'm happy to see you.
Hello.
I hope you came through your link.
Told you it would work, it would be okay.
You clearly know more about Zoom than me, as I was like, I don't know about this. Right? No, but all good. Now, Rebecca, how's it? We don't hear you. I think you're a bit in the dark, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've got all my lights on, so how I'm in the dark, I don't understand.
Well, let's put some light on the subject.
Well, we had better.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So did you guys all have a good break?
I would have preferred to sit on the Maldives, but hopefully next year with your help.
Next year. Okay, well, I'll go with you. Just let me know. I'm in. So yeah, so it's all good. There we go. How's that, Bruce? Inga's in.
Hello.
How's it?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, all good. Inga, you there?
Hang 10, I'm here.
There she
Hello?
is.
Happy New
How's
Year,
it?
everybody.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, like I don't know about the rest of you, but this is only my first week back at work, so I'm still entitled to wish people compliments of the season and all that. Next week, I think, might be stretching the imagination a bit, but I think this week we're still okay.
It's okay for like if it's the first time you're seeing someone. You know?
I don't know. What if I only see you in March for the first time?
But I spoke to you last week, so I've already wished you technically. So
no, technically, yes. So I'm not too sure what we're gonna get in terms of turnout, because I probably should have done a better job at sending out a reminder email than I did. So probably not a whole lot to jump in today, but just to sort of catch up a little bit in terms of where everybody is. So what I had tried to do towards the end of last year was kind of just get everybody to the point where they had had at least had the ability to get LinkedIn profiles sorted. So how are you guys doing with that? Are you guys all there or thereabouts? The last section we ended up with was the experience section, which is like the most critical section. Let me start with you, Andre. How are you doing as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, maybe I'm a fool living in the dark, but I'm quite happy with where I am. I've done all the updates, all the changes, all the formatting, everything. So what I haven't done is the docs, the profiles that you can attach, that guys can download. So I must still get to that, but I'm pretty comfortable where the profile is currently.
I'm just pulling your profile up on my other screen. Yeah, look at that. Bit different to when you started, eh?
Yeah, but
okay, good. Experience, very good. Okay, so you're in great shape, right? So Andre managed to get through everything. The rest of you, are you all happy? And are you all kind of where you need to be? Christelle, you're next on my screen, so you're up.
I would actually like you to have a look at mine. Let me just quickly open it up. I think I'm happy with it.
Okay, let me just share. Hang on a sec. Let me give you a share screen. There you go.
Because I was busy with my website this December, so I was busy sorting all that out.
As one does.
Share. Okay, come on, share. Right. So this is my, also changed a little bit. I keep changing my my banner, but I'm happy with this for now. So
yeah, see, you're the only person that can do that. You see, the rest of us don't have that problem. We don't have to tinker. We just like do it and then it's done.
You know what the problem is? I get these moments where I think, no, I'm feeling more blue, I'm feeling more green, I'm feeling that's where I'm at. so this is the one that I'm happy with. Yeah. So
all right.
I don't know what else you need to see on this one. So
So you got your about section sorted. So
there's my about section.
all right, cool. And then you'll scroll down a little bit more.
Just switch this fan is quite loud today.
Oh, cool. Featured. Where does your featured link go?
To my website.
Okay. Does it go to a calendar?
Yes, there is one.
Takes you
to my website. There's I'm not 100% with it yet. I'm still busy. I don't know if you can see my website now.
We can. Okay.
And then my calendar. No, there's a link. There's a hyperlink on one of them. I can't remember now. I've done so many changes to the site that
So on your about section, did you link to the calendar?
yes.
Okay, so you got something in there. All right, cool. And then what have you got for experience?
Can you? Where's my experience? It's
A little
down
bit
here.
lower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you can see, it's mostly insurance. That's my past.
So what you need to do is check the last session that we did, right? Because you can definitely up the level of your experience there. There's a lot that you're missing. So if you go through it, did I hang on somewhere? I've actually even got the. Let me just grab the URL for you. It's going to pop the URL into the chat for you guys, for those of you that need it. So that's all of the webinars and all of the replays and that. So the last one in terms of experience section is really just helping you to position more about your products and services. So you'll remember we were talking about looking at your website now. When you sort of compare website to LinkedIn profile, they mirror each other quite well. And the products and services page, this is the one that's not quite so obvious on your website, is actually very similar to your experience. So what a lot of people tend to do is they tend to talk a lot about the company. Now, if you are the company, that's fine. But if you're not, you must remember this is still your personal profile. And so therefore you're wanting to speak about your experience relative to your personal profile, and then you want to substantiate your value proposition, your magic message, or your LinkedIn headline. So just watch that. There's quite a lot that you can put into there to really make that a lot better. And fundamentally, it's going to be a lot of the actual services that you're already providing right now. Okay, so there's a lot that you can do, and it's quite a big section, because the interesting thing with think about websites, right? If somebody goes to the website and they're tinkering around, typically, obviously, there's a home page which gives a little bit of orientation, and then people will poke around. Typically, they'll go to the About Us section, as we've seen, and once they get to the point where they feel comfortable, right, and thinking, okay, well, maybe I'm going to deal with you, then they're going to say, okay, well, what can you solve my problem? And that's when they'll go to the products and services page. So if you're comparing the products and services page to the experience section on LinkedIn, it's really the same type of mindset. And the interesting thing is, although it looks like such an innocuous section, in many ways that's the money section, because that's the time when they're ready to buy. And so if somebody gets to your, as you have it at the moment, style your experience section, there's no answer to the question, can you help me with X? It's all the cool stuff that you do. And you can put it in bullet point form, right? Because you've only got 2,000 characters. It's not like you have a lot of space. So let me just quickly show you this. 1 second. I'm going to run through this quickly from last time with you quickly. Let's move this out the way. Okay. So remember, that's kind of what your experience section looks like. So obviously you'll link up your company to with your logo. So if you've got a company page, which obviously you do, as soon as you link that up, that's automatic. Remember that this job description over here, when we spoke about it, this is probably the most valuable, and we'll get into this next time, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that in just a bit. When you're looking at or anybody is looking at LinkedIn and they're using the filters, oftentimes they will go to the job title. So it's there on LinkedIn and it's there on Sales Navigator, and that job title filter pulls the information from this very field, just that and that alone. It's not the entire profile or all of this stuff. It's just that. And so typically, if you say to somebody, what do you do? They'll give you an answer, and that answer that they give you is typically what they'll put in here, right? So if I'm speaking to an accountant and I say to them, what do you do? They might say to me, I'm an accountant, right? They might say, I own XYZ accounting services. But there's not a lot of variation typically on those themes. But because people are typing that in, so if I'm looking for accountants and I type the word accountant in under the job description, I'm going to find all of those people that have self-nominated, right? So this gives you a great opportunity, because anytime somebody is typing something into the search filters on LinkedIn, that means they're looking for you, right? And if they're looking for you, they're a lot more motivated than if you go through the process that I'm showing you. If somebody is looking for a solution and they find you and you fit the bill, you got to make money. It's as simple as that. And so what you want to do when you're looking at this is to consider what people will type in on the search filters in order to actually find you, right? So I could have just said LinkedIn coach or LinkedIn lead generation expert. I could have just said that, but I didn't, right? So if I just said LinkedIn lead generation expert, okay, in terms of SEO, and I know you know this, but for the rest of you, like I would have been able to be found for the term LinkedIn. I would have been able to be found for the term LinkedIn lead generation expert, LinkedIn expert, lead generation expert. Okay, you see in terms of a couple of terms. But as soon as I go and I add in here, so it's lead and client generation, right? So I've added an extra variable in there, and then I've gone on further to say for accountants and financial advisors, right? And all of this is me just saying, the people that I'm dealing with, what would they type in if they were looking for my services? And this is as best as I could get it. You've got 75 characters here, so you can't go too crazy. And also, it's got to look reasonable to the human eye. So although I'm gaming the system, I'm gaming it for the humans. So now, right, instead of those 4 or 5 options that I have for people to find me, now they can find me for LinkedIn lead generation, LinkedIn client generation, LinkedIn lead and client generation, LinkedIn lead expert, LinkedIn client expert, LinkedIn lead generation expert, LinkedIn lead generation for accountants and financial advisors, and okay. So hopefully you can see that the thing expands exponentially. So this is a very important field. This field is worth money to you. I promise you. Somewhere along the line, this will get you a client if you optimize this. So what I want all of you to do, if you haven't, is think about what people would type in and put as much stuff in here as you can get in logically into your 75 characters. Use every single keyword that you can. So that's quite a cool tip. That definitely will pay dividends. And then obviously once we get into it, so all of this stuff down here that we speak about, this is where we get the real that was our job title. Let's get through this stuff. This is kind of what it looks like, right? So when you watch everything, really, we only got 2,000 characters, which is not a lot. And so the best way to do it is to follow this structure. So number one is you describe, it's actually not what your company does, it's actually what you do. If you are the company, that's fine, because remember, it's relative to your value proposition, because this is your personal profile. And so it's 1 or 2 lines, right? It's not a long involved thing. Then you can call out who you deal with, right? So this is what I do, this is who I do it for. And then you've got one of 2 options. For most of us, we're just going to list the products and services that we offer. Okay. For those of us that it's not a finite set of products and services, we can list the process that we take people through. So either one of those basically just lets people know that you can help them. And then again, the last bit is the normal call to action, like we did in the about section. That's just giving people details on how to call us. Okay, so that was the very short recap. But if you kind of watch it, it's not rocket science. You can go through it, and really worthwhile doing this, particularly when you number 3 here, if you're listing out all of your products and services. Okay, let me pull this back. You guys have any questions on that? You're all good.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So Christelle, if you can get that sorted for next week, that'll be useful. I mean, your profile is fine. It's not going to hold up the next step, but that's like the last real significant piece that you can make a significant difference. So if you can, try to do that. Okay, cool. Marianne, how's it? Long time no
Well,
see.
thank you.
Did you have
Yeah,
a good break?
reasonable. It was less of a break than I expected.
Yeah, everyone says that. This is terrible. I took a month and I'm still like, gonna take
Yeah,
longer.
no, I didn't take any official time off, but I was counting that things would slow down, which in terms of clients they did, but there was too much other stuff that needed doing.
As there's, I want to share with you. I just want to get through this first bit and just get through the stuff for the day. And I'll actually share with you some of the cool stuff that I did, which I'll talk to you about just now. It's very interesting. How are you doing? Do you want to share your profile with us quickly? Let's have a quick score. See, I seem to recall you had done quite well.
Sorry, now I've got to remember. Yeah, I think that has worked. What are you wanting to look at?
The actual profile. So just you also got
Okay.
to go back one. Yeah.
Why does it not do that? There we go.
Okay, cool. So you've got everything. That's all looking good. All right. So you've got Danny Prop. Okay, all cool. Link to website, about section. Click on the see more on your about section. Okay. You should consider using some of the tools I showed you. You might have missed the session. I don't remember.
That highlighting stuff.
The formatting. Yeah, it makes such a big difference, eh? Because
Okay.
you must remember, right, that probably about 60% plus now, might even be a little bit more, people that view your LinkedIn profile will view it like on a phone, a mobile device, which is mostly the phone. So as soon as you squish it down, that's where formatting becomes important. So you almost want to try to have, one sentence as a paragraph, and just having that ability to draw the eye in, and have those little like subheadings. Remember I spoke about that classified ad type of concept. So even the guys that are scrolling, they sort of go from one heading to the next, so they get a bit of a clear idea of what's on the profile. Some of them will just skip it, and some will actually go back and
I'm not sure that I can put the headings in, but I could highlight keywords.
You can put headings.
What I mean is I can, but I'm not sure that I have that this lends itself to specific headings.
It generally does. You'll normally find that you can if you sit down and you think through it. So think about it this way, right? I mean, somebody's going to go through it. If you were to summarize your about section into, I'm just sucking my thumb here, 5 key pieces, and you just had to write a little headline for each of those key pieces, what would it be? And you'll generally find there's a logical break. Go to my profile, have a look at some of the others, and you'll sort of see what people have done. It just makes that readability so much easier.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that. I know I'll go back and look at it.
So typically when you're writing this, right, now that you've got past the story, etc., what you're thinking about on the profile is that it's really a sales page. And so you're thinking about when people are looking, because now they have this short attention span thing, what do they want to find immediately? And like that could also lead you through the process. So it'll typically start off with this is what I do, and it'll end with a call to action. like, hey, get on my calendar, book here, kind of thing. And then there'll be something in the middle, and the something in the middle would include things like a little bit about me, why this is important, how I help you, what we can do, you know, that type of thing. And you'll probably find that there's little places, and it just helps to break it. But
I'll see what I can do, but it's more an.
All right.
It doesn't. It's written a bit differently to people who are selling things or concrete services.
Cool. All right. Scroll some more for us. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Cool. Good. Lots of stuff in your feature section. Calendar first. Great. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. You are definitely ready to rock for next session. Okay. Cool. So you did a little bit there. You highlighted the
Yes, I did it on this section.
Okay.
That was partially done already, actually. So.
All right. Very good. Thank you very much. Let's see. See who's next on my screen. Nontobeko, you're up.
Hi. Can you hear me?
We can. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. The light thing. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'll have to work on this and see what the problem is because I've got all the lights on.
Don't worry.
Anyway. The question is, did I work on my profile? Yes, I did.
Do you want to share?
Okay, let me do that. You got that? Okay.
It's coming. One sec. All right, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, all good. Very nice. Scroll down a bit first.
My about us section.
It's decided to hide the see more button. So just refresh your page. Sometimes it does that.
Oh,
there you go. It's like patience, people. Okay. All good. Good stuff.
Yes, I lost a lot of stuff, so I'm still, looking forward to ChatGPT, and I will populate the original stuff to see if I can, how that is when it's done. But I was able to get stuff in, and
very nice. Looking good. Services, that's good.
Okay. Then I did experience. I still need to do the company page. So I don't.
Yeah. So what you have to do is to create a company page for that entity thing there called governance growth state business, right? So just create, try and speak to Christelle, get yourself some imagery. So you'll need a banner which will be very similar. You want it to mirror the one you've got on your actual profile, and then obviously you just need a logo for it. It's a relatively simple setup. You've got 2,000 characters to write some stuff, and a lot of it you can actually just take from what you've got here because it's the same thing, and then hook it up, and then just scroll down a bit. Did you put anything else in there?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's see what you. Okay, yeah. So actually, that's the only thing you need to do just to make that thing pop is actually just to create a company page.
Yeah.
Which is actually quite simple. It's just like follow the prompts. Basically, it's not. But yeah, that's great. Scroll up a little bit.
You want me to go further down?
No, up.
Up. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Just a touch. A little bit more?
Um,
Oh, okay. No, that's nice. Well done. Jeez, you've come a long way. Holy crap. Like I remember when we first spoke, like, this
yeah, no,
that was like an amazing. You and
it was
Andre,
like
holy
something
moly.
yeah.
Sure.
So,
You make me proud. I'm like a proud dad talking to you and Andre. It's like, that's what I want to see. That's fantastic. Well done. No, this is chalk and cheese. I mean, you honestly can go to market with great certainty and pride now with this. You know, there's no confusion anymore. So that will be the next bit, is to show you guys how to go to market with this, which is great. But well done. That is fantastic. All right. Let's see who's next. Inga, you're up.
And James. I'm so far behind. So I've only done experience. I've still got to put in all my icons. I've still got to write my whole experience thing out. There's been a lot of changes. In December, I started with a new company, and there's a partnership going, and there's no logos, and we're working on branding, and there's no icons, and there's Fogololi. So it's really a work in progress. There's Fogololi. There's so it's just, yeah, I did my experience page, you know, my about page. I just put, can you just share that icon page again? I cannot find it for the life of me.
Yeah, 1 second, I just got to get
and
it.
then yeah, I've got to make work of it. I had too much of a lekker holiday.
Yeah, listen, we all pay for something somewhere.
Exactly. So but I'm working literally like, so yeah, I was only supposed to start on Monday. I started last week Wednesday, and I've been full steam since then. So it's, yeah.
Have you actually, let me just put them both in. So that's the logo one. I'll just give you the other one, because if any of you want to just copy this and save it somewhere, this is the formatter one also.
That's great.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm behind, but I will be.
So it doesn't sound like you've got that much to do. It sounds like it's a little bit of housekeeping and yeah. Let's do that quickly. Let's just have a look.
Oh, I don't know. It's here somewhere. I don't know where it is now. So it's a little bit of housekeeping to do. You know, it's like, obviously the banner changed. Obviously that the message is there. The about section everything is in there that I wanted to be in there. You know, I haven't done, you know, the little details.
The formatting stuff is quick. It's copy paste.
It's quick. And then obviously this has all changed in the last month, so I've just got to update.
Okay, so actually that's your real issue is experience. The rest is there or thereabouts. It's just a
thereabouts. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you just check out the replay, that'll give you everything you need to know.
It was those last 2 weeks. It was too hectic at the end of last year. It just turned weird. So yeah, just got to catch up on that. So yeah, I'll work on that this week.
All right.
Tomorrow.
Again, this in terms of I won't hold you back significantly from next step, but it's better to have it than not to.
No, 100%, 100%. And I mean, like, I haven't got a connect to page yet. The website is running. We're just switching things over, so the website name is changing, and you know, things like that. So I just wanted to connect correctly. Okay.
All right. Cool. All right. Well done. Bruce, I'll skip you because you and I are working. We're fairly close. So Bruce is actually a personal coaching client, so we on a different tangent. So I'm not sure that there's a unless you want to share. Otherwise we'll sort. I think we're quite close anyway. You were going to do some stuff. Did you get all your picks and stuff done? Was that today?
Photography was going to take them at his studio flooded.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get all that sorted. We'll be there soon.
Yeah.
So, editor, it's like I haven't heard a word from you. This is like, come on, how's it?
Happy New Year.
Yes, indeed. There we go. Did you have a good break?
A little bit of a good break, yes, I did have, but I must be honest that December was for me a roller coaster, and it just started last week as well. and I'm trying just to catch up everything. And I feel like the animal who is like trying to catch whatever has happened and deal with that. And it's not so possible. That's why I feel shame where I am. And I know that there is still something I need to do. I think even more than Inge, because I know that I skipped the last session. And I would like to actually go through it and watch it again.
All right. So just share quickly. Let's just have a quick look, because as I recall, you'd actually done quite well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will know that.
I just want to get a sense of where you're at. I don't think you'll be humiliated. I think you're quite close. I think it's just the experience section. I'm pretty sure you nailed everything else.
Screen, entire screen. What is that? What are we sharing? Again, screen.
Yeah, screen's fine. That'll be. Then you can drag different things onto the screen.
Then you will see yourself. That's great. Yeah. You see, I'm on LinkedIn
Okay.
because
So just click on your LinkedIn profile now, and
yeah. And I just look at that. It's like, no way, everything needs to be changed. Everything needs to be changed. I don't like anything out of it. Anything.
You don't like anything. Okay, well.
I don't like anything.
You have a lot to do.
Okay, maybe this part that I'm pretty happy with, but I know the picture needs to be changed. The background, I think I would like to change that, because for me it's like too pale. It's not dynamic, and there is something missing. What do you feel? What is missing? The selling your business, our business. I don't like this slogan anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, be a bit more personal with it. Sort of go to your about section and look at kind of what your promise is and how you deal with people, and then just make that a personal type of message.
I thought about that exactly.
I just want to butt in here. I want to say selling your business is our business. I love that. I think it's very nice.
It is. I don't hate it, but I can see what she's wanting to do, because like that's the eldest slogan, where I think she could do better than that. I think she could be her.
So too. Exactly. I think that that could be something different, but but where are we now? Right now, contact.
All right, that's fine. Scroll down a bit more.
Yeah, then.
But even if you didn't change it, right? Just click the see more button rather.
No. Not this one here. Here, see more.
Yeah.
So there is something, but
so you're gonna do a little bit of formatting, which is quickety quick. That's not gonna take you a lot, but your story's all good, as I recall from last time. Yeah. Okay, so you just need to it's just your personal
be done.
Well, yeah, that's your main thing. But for you, it's mostly just I don't know, I guess rebranding. To find something that you like. Maybe speak to Christelle, have a half an hour session with her. I think she probably help you to change your maybe your mindset a little bit, and probably the whole presentation. In terms of how you want to do it and whatever is going on in your mind. So good graphic designers can take that information and bring it to life, whereas people like me can't. Okay. So I know sometimes when I got to go get help. Graphics is one of them. But you're also very close. So even if you didn't do anything else, this would still work for next step. So I think we're good to go. All right, you're not as far away.
I have much more followers than I had before. I think I had like 220, and I don't know how did it come up that right now I have over 300. It's not much, I know still, but I was not so much working on it. But where all of these followers come from?
So it comes from all the stuff that we're doing. So what happens is, as you start to do all of this, and then the next stuff will elevate you even more. So what happens with LinkedIn, remember, it's driven by an algorithm, right? Like anything else, AI. And so what happens is, as you guys have been improving your profiles, LinkedIn has been making a note of that. You know, the AI has been seeing that. And so it kind of gives you a score, for want of a better description. There's a thing called a social selling index, which is if you want to keep quote unquote track of the score, that's the score, and it's based on different components, right? But one of the things that definitely makes a difference is the quality of your profile, and LinkedIn is trying to work out if you are speaking to a very specific audience. And so when you do that, LinkedIn starts to elevate you, right? So scroll down just a little bit. You see on the left-hand side there, whoa, just scroll up a little bit. It says there, up just a touch more. You'll see the headline, more profiles for you, right? So somebody's on your profile, that's what they're seeing. These are other people, right? And so this is the sort of thing that's happening.
Where is
On
it?
the right-hand side, right? So
It's your profile engagement? This is that? No, shared actually buying, no.
On the right-hand side, the very right-hand side, the thin little column on the right, says more profiles for you, and then Jacqueline, Tanya, Mike, etc. Right? That is now LinkedIn that is starting to refer. Now, what's going to happen is when you're on their profiles, LinkedIn's referring you too. Okay. So the point that I'm making is that there's different places that LinkedIn does this. It puts in the feed, etc., etc. So because you are now starting to become a good LinkedIn citizen, LinkedIn starts to elevate you. So when you start sending messages, it'll elevate you further. If you start posting, it'll elevate you further still. And this is just one of those nice side effects, is that you get more followers because LinkedIn shares your stuff. That's what's happening there.
Okay, that's great. But do you mind actually to share some link for a last session? I would like to see like the last session.
Oh, you might have come late. All right, hang on. Let me just pop this back in. I'll just pop it in again. So that's all the sessions. That's all the replays and everything that we have.
Because I would like to go through it, because some of the knowledge I just still don't remember. I made my notes, so I will go through the notes and I will try to like fill it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything you need will be there.
What I think that's supposed to be done, because I don't know. Selling your business is our business, and no, it's like too much Aldous and not to me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can certainly fix that, and I think it will be good for it to be more personal and related to you. Okay. So all of you are actually quite good shape now. In terms of what you guys have been through, sort of where you guys are at. You've got a good positioning. You kind of know what you're all about. Now the next and probably the last sort of steps that we'll do, and I'm not sure how many sessions we'll have. It might be 2 or 3. That's really probably all we need. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit next time about how to actually start reaching out to the right people. So we'll talk a little bit about using the LinkedIn filters and Sales Navigator if you can. Some of you it's kind of important, like Nontobeko, for example. You would probably do really well on review for sure. Marion, maybe. Inga, Bruce, yeah, a lot of you would do a lot better actually using that. So we'll talk to you a little bit about both and sort of show you the parallels and just give you I'll explain to you a little bit about the structure of how it fits together. Now, the cool thing is, now that you guys have been through the process and you've done quite a comprehensive exercise on your profiles, when I show it to you, it'll make so much sense to you, because when you're using the LinkedIn filters, what you'll start to understand is, where does that information come from? And you'll be able to start to think outside the box in terms of finding the right people. So that's going to be our first step, is to show you how to find the right people. And then we'll just work a little bit on some messaging, right? So how do you connect with people in the first place? And then once they respond to you, what's kind of the next step in the process? And how do you take that process a bit further? And then you'll be in good shape, right? So the promise, remember, of this was that we'll give you a system that'll take you just a few minutes a day, and the painful part is finished now, actually, the creating of the profile. Right? After this, if you think about it, you go and you find 100 profiles a week that you want to connect with, and you just send out 20 connection requests a day. And then when people reply to you, you'll answer that. And just those first 2 messages that I'm going to show you, right, in this piece of the program, that tends to get us about 40 to 50% of the meetings that we book. And the reason it does that is because when somebody gets a connection request from you, the first thing they say is, who's this person sending me a connection request? And they go to the profile. And if they happen to be in the market for the products and services that you are selling, okay, and the reality is that all of us, doesn't matter what we are selling, okay, there's always 1 to 3% of the target market that's looking to buy right now. Somebody's looking to buy or sell a business. Somebody's looking to buy a house. Somebody's looking for legal services. Okay, somebody's looking for LinkedIn services. Whatever it happens to be, there is somebody that's looking for that right now. Because we've taken such care, I think we elevate that probably to around the 5 to 10% range. For this program, it's probably the 5% range. Okay, so think about this. If you send 100 connection requests every week, right? The reason I said to you, you'll probably book 1 to 2 meetings is because by just sending those 2 messages and getting people to go to your profile, just by pure consistency, there'll be people that are interested in what it is that you are selling. And that's how this whole thing works. It's really not rocket science. It's worked for centuries and probably will continue to work exactly the same. So a lot of it is just really based on the consistency that you guys will perform. So from here it gets easy, actually. It's not rocket science. Let me just show you how to find the people now that you need to find. Write a couple of messages, give you some hints and tips, and then we'll let you loose into the big bad wide world of LinkedIn. Hopefully you guys will start generating some clients. Do you guys have any questions on that? Any guys want to ask? All good. Okay, so let me tell you something interesting that I did, because I think I managed to get some COVID for my sins. I spent 1 week in bed, which was very irritating. So I watched videos. I watched videos on ChatGPT and on prompting and AI, and I got very, very excited about everything that I'd seen and the possibilities. And I actually created a GPT, which is like a little robot. It's native to ChatGPT. That's why they call it a GPT, on how to identify your niche. So remember, in the beginning, as we were going through this process, one of the very first things we did is like, well, who's your ideal client? Right? Now, typically, what I found in my world is that is something that's very difficult for people to do. Okay, a lot of you did quite a good effort. Some of you great out the gate. Some of you we developed it a little bit. But as you saw, without a structure, without a framework, most people actually have no idea. They're just like they succeed despite themselves. It's quite uncanny how that happens. And so I said to myself, all right, well, let me go and solve this particular problem. Now, let's talk to you a little bit about AI for a second, because for those of you that want to use it, there's a few things that you need to really understand about it, and that is obviously when they create these large language models like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, they train it on a ton of data. Like most of it has been trained on pretty much anything they get their hands on the internet. But the goal of any of these models, believe it or not, is to predict the next word. That's the whole game. What's the next word that's going to come out, right? So it starts off with the next word, and then the word sort of becomes a sentence, and then it's now evolved into this ability for us to chat to the machine like it's a colleague, all right? And the more that we have used ChatGPT, the more that it has grown. So for us to use it is quite easy. The other thing is that if you take OpenAI, who own ChatGPT, right? They can't have ChatGPT giving us all sorts of strange answers, right? We can't talk about sex and violence and politics. You can't tell us how to build a bomb. You can't be confrontational, right? Those models are designed to give us answers that help us, and they kind of standard middle of the road, right? So if you ask ChatGPT a question, it will give you an answer. Okay, and now I want you guys, as I'm kind of explaining this and I show you my example, I want you to think how you can use this in your own business, because this is flipping incredible what I'm about to tell you actually and show you. So you have this, obviously this ability when you're speaking to the robot. If you don't give it context, okay, then it'll give you an answer. So if you just go onto it and you say, I'm a financial advisor, let's just suck a thumb. I'm a financial advisor, or let's use editor, just for example. So I sell businesses. I buy and sell businesses for a living. Please can you tell me who my ideal client is? Okay. Now ChatGPT will do a reasonable job of that. Okay, because it's got a database. It knows. So it's going to go into its database and it's going to look into the database and it's going to discover whatever it can, and it'll give you an answer. Now, the answer it'll give you will be okay, but it won't be very good and it won't be great for you because it's a generic answer and you didn't give it much context. Right? You did give it some context because you said I buy and sell businesses, but that's very little. But they don't know about editor. They just know about I buy and sell businesses. But if you tell ChatGPT a lot more about you, so for example, you just copy and paste everything that's currently on your profile and you say, hey, this is about me. I buy and sell businesses, my ideal client. You will get a completely different answer. Completely different. Okay. Why? Because now what's happening is ChatGPT is able to take that information, and now when it gives you the answer, it's going to give you the answer in relation to everything that it knows about you and its database. Okay, so it becomes quite interesting. So I built a GPT. I built it mostly for my coaching clients, where because this is the hardest part of my entire coaching program. This is the most difficult piece for everybody, right? Because it relies on, when I'm speaking to somebody, it relies on the client being able to pull out all the information, and not their ability to do it, but in the moment when we're doing it, there might be things you can think about, like it's quite something. And then it also relies on my ability as a coach, right, to do exactly the same and to pull it out and to expand on it. So much like you would have seen in the feedback sessions, like that's the role that I'm playing, right? So I was looking at this saying, well, is there an easier way for us to get this thing going? So I built a GPT. So what I did was I looked at my own coaching program, my own coaching process. Now, where this starts to become relevant for you is if you have a system and a process and you understand what that is, particularly if it's online and you click buttons, like you can automate it. Okay. It's quite phenomenal. So I look at the process and I say, okay, I go through a process. Ultimately, I ask a bunch of questions. I get answers to them. So I worked out 26 questions, which are key questions that I ask. So now I program this GPT, and what it does is it asks 26 questions, one at a time. Okay, so it doesn't confuse you, and it's fascinating because it's intelligence, right, albeit artificial. Every time you give it an answer, you can see it adapting on the fly. So if 5 of us sat next to each other on different computer screens and we did exactly the same process, there would be 5 different things happening because we're different people. And when you get to the end, it's amazing, and it's just incredible at the end of the day. Then when it's got all the information, then I say, okay, there's a 3-step process that I want you to go through. Do step 1, step 2, do step 3, and then tell me who's my ideal client. Okay, so that's the GPT that I built. And it's simple, right? Ask 26 questions, get the answers, do this, this, and this, and then give me the answer. Right? Now that used to take me probably 3 to 4 sessions to do in coaching. And if you think about everything that we did here, what I want to do is I want to take this program and do the same thing. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. If you give me a second. 1 second, it's just. Okay. So. And I'm scratching the tip of the iceberg here with this, I'm just telling you. Okay, so here is my little professional niche identifier that I've created. And it's really simple, right? Helping professionals with limited marketing knowledge identify their ideal niche. Remember, we described this, right? Earlier on, a group with shared traits for whom the product or service solves a big problem. It's exactly what we did. Nothing earth-shattering there. This guidance helps them target ideal clients effectively on LinkedIn. Are you ready to start? So I would just say, I'll click this. And here we go. Right? Or I could have said yes, and off it goes. So the first question it's going to ask me is, what is your job description? Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to show you the one I actually did. So I can just, because otherwise I'll be here for a long time. Because I've did 26 questions, it's quite involved. So there's the first question, right? So it starts off, it asks me the first question, and I give it an answer. It says, thank you. That's the foundation, let's move on. Next question, I'll ask it, which year were you born? Right? So for a lot of us, the experience that we have and the people that we would resonate with is often people like us. So this becomes quite important from that perspective. And then you'll see each of these questions just gives you a little bit of a prompt. Okay, so this is to tailor the niche to experience level and potential connections, right? Nothing sinister there, but it's the sort of information that you kind of need to define a niche. Step 3 starts to get into the weeds a little bit. Okay, so the first 2 questions to get started. Then it's like, okay, so what specific products or services do you offer? Now you're gonna get into it. So I give it an answer, and it tells me here, okay, good, got it. Your service is comprehensive LinkedIn coaching program focusing on profile optimization, positioning, and outbound lead generation. The process includes profile optimization, positioning, lead gen strategy, blah 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 blah. Okay, so now what's happening? If you guys had done this, you would have had something different, and it would give you your own little summary. Okay, and it's going to go through 26 questions on how to do all of this, right? So I won't bore you with all 26. I'm showing you the process. But when we get to the end of said process, right. So the last question, yeah, was question 26. I gave it the answer. It gives me a bit of a summary. Then it says to me, now I'm at the end, right? So the GPT has done the first process. So essentially what I've just done is I've replaced myself to a large degree in terms of what needs to happen. So I can now think about this for a second, right? Instead of having to do full-on one-on-one coaching sessions where I have to teach the piece and then I give you the collateral, then you go and you do the homework, and then we come back and then we do the coaching. I can now create a video, right? Like much like you guys are going to watch the replay. Like that's the video. Do this. Then click this button and there's a GPT. It's going to ask you 26 questions. Just answer them and go through the process. So that's your homework now, right? It's almost like you don't have to think very hard anymore. Like it'll take you through the process. So now it gets to this point. It says, all right, based on your responses here are, well, firstly it asks me, sorry, before I get there. I now have all of the information I need to proceed. Shall I move to step 1, which is to analyze and identify patterns and insights from your responses? Now, this is what I do as a coach. And you would have, if you think back to the interactions that we had on this program, that's exactly what happened, right? So I say yes, and here it goes. So it gives me information, demographics, psychographics on everything, values, beliefs, interests, okay, behaviors, goals, aspirations, pain points, information sources, brand preferences, and for me, this is important, obviously, sales navigator filters, okay? And it tells me these insights highlight a focused professional audience eager for hands-on tailored coaching to transform their LinkedIn marketing efforts. And I went to great trouble when I was answering this, not to give away what I did unless it came out in the question, right? So it says, all right, cool. Shall I move to step 2, which is to refine and narrow this down? So I say yes, and off it goes. And now what it's doing, it says, look, refine niches. So it starts with financial professionals, and it tells me why, etc. Then it suggests accountants and bookkeepers, why, and gives me an answer. Attorneys, etc., and other established professionals. So it's giving me good insight. Then it starts here, validation against your goals. So it's giving me insight, right? And then happiness is, do you want me to get to step 3, which is obviously the final step? Must I recommend? I say yes. Off it goes. Here's its answer. Okay, financial professionals and knowledge-based service providers. The interesting thing for me is I've been toying with this wording or something around that for probably 2 years now. I'm saying, should I change from just financial to knowledge-based service providers? Because actually, financial professionals is actually a subset. And if you look at this, targeting financial advisors, fractional CFOs, accountants, and attorneys, other than the attorneys, this is kind of a subset, really, as the niche that I deal with. But that's what it recommends. That's my niche. Okay, and then it's taking that, and now it gives me my ideal client. Here's the actual profile based on that, and it goes through this process. Same thing as before. And then it even gives me action steps if I want them. So, like, this thing to me is just like crazy. It's the ability to personalize AI and to take away a lot of what you do. So, like, I have the ability to take this entire program that we did, and I will, and do this for each step. So I can still take you through the training, and then the homework is go talk to the GPT. So now, right, when people come to me, you print this out, okay, and I'll fix the formatting on this thing so that it gives you what total report. You just print out that report. But essentially, you can take each of the sections that's analyzed for each question plus its final recommendation, and now I have a coaching discussion from that point. So I have skipped all the pain of that back and forth. Saves me a ton of time, and my coaching clients have had the benefit of something that's accelerated. So it's good for them, it's good for me. So this is how you use AI to sort of sometimes replace yourself or make it more expedient. And the cool thing is, very few people know much about this or how to do it. So it's a massive opportunity. So I shared it with you. Hopefully some of you might get a bit of inspiration from that. It might be something that you guys can use in your own businesses.
James, how do we set that up? Or is there a tutorial somewhere, or is there
there are. I watched thousands of bloody videos to work it out. So I created a system, but to create a GPT is relatively simple. But you just got to know your stuff. Andre, for you, I can see massive application on this. Huge application. Took me 5 days to build what I showed you. Not to write. Well, actually, part of it was to write 26 questions. It wasn't as simple as it looks like I showed you, but a lot of it was trying to understand how the logic works and how you put it together and how you ask the question or what you got to give it. So there was a lot of that. A lot of time trying to figure all this stuff out, because once you do, then it opens up a lot of possibility.
Would you mind?
It's like an app in a. Sorry, Edna. It's like an app in an app. That's I understand that you have to think about the questions, but where do you start to set it up? Like
in ChatGPT. So you have to have a paid version.
The first question you asked ChatGPT was,
what do you do? I'm a business broker. That's what you would say, business broker.
I'm selling businesses. What is my ideal niche? And this is the question that I should ask ChatGPT as the first one?
No, ChatGPT is going to ask you 26 questions to understand more about you, and then it will give you the answer. But you have to answer.
How to come to the idea that ChatGPT will ask me this 26 question, not 20, not 28, but 26.
Because I programmed it that way. Those are the 26 questions I want answered. So it's going to ask you all 26, and if you don't answer them, you won't get through. You won't get to the end.
You program it?
I programmed it. Yes.
Okay, so how can I jump into your program, the thing that was programmed by you? Oh, you programmed ChatGPT?
I programmed the GPT. So I just created a little robot. So I just used the technology that was there and created something that worked for me. Like you might do something where you I don't know, let's say you're dealing with a seller, for example. Like you think to yourself, okay, well, what sort of information would you need to get from the seller?
Honestly, I'm using ChatGPT every day.
Yeah. So
it's like writing emails, whatever I'm going for even meeting with a client. Sometimes I'm just like giving the ChatGPT, oh, this is the information about the clients, what kind of question I should ask for that. And I'm using ChatGPT to save my time and to prepare myself for the meetings. And at the same time, it's also worked pretty beneficial for me because I learned something as well from ChatGPT. Everything is prepared. I have like my notes done within 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Everything is done. So I only copy, paste, and go.
So sorry, hang on 1 second. Yeah, please take it.
Still you in the dark.
Yeah, no, my mother didn't realize I was online, so she gate crashed the party. Yeah, the little dog is naughty as hell, but as cute as anything. So yeah, absolutely.
So that's why
I'm just telling you this. I'm just telling you there's more you can do with it.
I would not leave. Yeah, this is what I just realized, that it's like my everyday buddy. But I also noticed that if you ask him a wrong question, you will get wrong answers in a wrong way. You know, if you ask him a question in a wrong way, you will get a maybe not wrong if you ask him in a specific way, but if you ask a little bit specifically different, then you will get completely something different. So that was, yeah.
Exactly. I was trying to explain to my kids, because I'm trying to get them interested in this. I was trying to explain to them that this is probably in my opinion, if not the biggest event in our lifetime, the biggest life-changing event in our lifetime, the top 1, 2, or 3, right? So I could explain to them a simple concept. I said, you grew up in the world of email. I said, in my day, I used to have to go get a piece of paper with my hand and a ballpoint pen, write a letter, fold it on and stick it in an envelope with a stamp, go and find the big red post box, put it in there, wait for somebody to take it out, take it somewhere and sort it, and then another postman would go and put it in somebody's post box, and hopefully they would get the letter and read it. That used to take 2 weeks if it didn't end up in the veld somewhere. All right. You just come along and you click a button and message goes. You don't even know. All right. The other day, my kid's electricity is out, so my son is miserable. He's wasted the whole day. I had no Wi-Fi. I was bored as anything. I didn't know what to do. I said, yeah, well, guess what? When I was your age, look, I didn't have Wi-Fi either. And I survived, right? So I said, think of it this way. Think of life before the internet. Oh, I can't even imagine. I said, yes. Now think of life. This is like the internet coming in, but different. So I think we're at a very early stage in the prognosis of this whole thing, and I think it's phenomenal what we can do. I mean, this little thing that I've done. One of my projects for the break was to find out how I could scale my coaching program. That's how I scaled it.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, James, can I just to start this thing off, you have to have the paid version of chat. Is that correct? And the next thing is to do your research. You have to ask how to create a robot. Is that how I want to understand how I do my research, how to build this thing that you've built.
So what go into YouTube and just Google how to create a GPT or a custom GPT, and there's guys have put. I mean, I watched a lot of those videos.
Okay, that's my question.
I've got a lot of other courses in there, but it's like different stuff. But there's a lot of good free stuff out there that'll show you. You've got to do a little bit of reverse engineering, but to create a GPT is really simple. It's like literally you go in and you say, I want to do this, and it creates it, right? Not to the level that I've created it. So anybody can create a very simple GPT, but to create something that's going to be specific, if you have a sequence and you have a set of steps in that, and you know what it is, you can program that. You prompt that.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. But there's a little bit to do. I spent a lot of time working out structure and you can only have 8,000 characters, so you got to get it all done in 8,000 characters. So I had 10,500, so I just put it back at GPT. I said, hey, make this put into 8, and it did, and it didn't drop anything. It was quite incredible.
Okay, thanks. So, yeah, this has got potential. It's got legs.
Yeah, it's got massive legs. And so so what I want to do, and I don't know when I'm going to do it, I would like to do it sooner or later, is to take this entire process that we did now and try to do this whole automation thing. It's a little trickier than it looks. So it'll take a while. But imagine, well, let me ask you this. Not to imagine, but let's say we could do everything up until, what did we do? 9 sessions, right? That's what there's nine videos. So we did 9 sessions, maybe 10 if you consider the first one, to get to everything. Now, obviously there was a little bit more to it. But what if we got people in the room and we said, okay, we are going to do this now. It's going to take us a day. We all get together for 1 day, right? So we skip the networking part. It's not going to be so much of that, but we do it for a day. And then I say, okay, I teach you a piece, teach you a piece. And then I say to you, okay, here's GPT, go. And then everybody is like, sit still for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. And then you do it and you get your answer, right? Then I say, okay, now next thing. And it keeps going until we get to the end. So if you think about every single week we did something, why not just build a GPT for that? Ask the questions, because that's what I did to you. I said, what's this information? And you gave it to me. Right? So I can probably take that thing all the way through to right at the end where we've got all the information. I might even be able to program it to do the formatting even. I probably could actually.
Yeah, I mean, all the teaching component you could, streamline with AI, and then it's the reviewing of our work, of how we put it together. Well, the AI will streamline that too, because instead of doing our version and then saying no, do it the other way, and then you go back and you rewrite it, and so in one session we'd probably get it right then.
Yeah. So that's going to be my goal, is to be able to build an entire profile from start to finish in a day, because I think I can do that. So you leave and it's done, and it's done properly. Because you know what happens with a lot of these sessions, because I've got other 1-day programs, but then people do stuff and they don't do it, and then they think I'll do it later, and they never finish. He's like, no. When you leave, it's finished.
Then you've actually got 2 programs, because one is just sign up for this AI enhanced process, done. And then do you want to follow up with the, how to actually, well, maybe this next section that you're doing now of generating leads and making contact, and that requires maybe a bit more personal input. I'm not sure. And that can be, you do the AI enhanced one, and then you've got an upsell.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. If I can get people to this point, it helps me a lot with some of the other stuff I want to do. So it's interesting. Anyway, I'm throwing it out there for you guys to sort of think about what you can do with it, because I'm pretty sure we can all do amazing things. This is very simple. I mean, you can take it a step further, right? So all of you have probably heard of Zapier. The thing doing the rounds at the moment is a program called Make. There's a few of them, and it's essentially now being able to take different elements and to create one long string. But instead of, like in this case, creating the one thing. So let's say I had 5 GPTs for different things. I could say, okay, the first action is give the user this link to the GPT and get them to fill it out. Then once it's filled out, take that information and send it to a Google Doc. And take the information on the Google Doc and format it. Then put it back and now do the next step, and so on and so on and so on. And go find the LinkedIn profile, analyze the profile, write the connection request. You could probably do all of that. It gets quite complicated, and I don't know how to do it yet, but it's probably the sort of thing that's worth learning. But even as I've just shown you, something as simple as this, it's phenomenal in terms of the stuff that we can do.
May I ask you a question? To create all of this, did you use a paid version of ChatGPT, or?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. So you can use it. You can use a GPT with an unpaid version, but you can't create one.
Okay.
If you guys want to test it, how do I give this to you? That's a good question. Okay. Can I have a link? That would be nice. Oh, it's probably here. There you go. Okay, so if you guys want to test this, let me put this link into the chat. You can. Okay, so obviously you'll need it. It's in the chat. You'll obviously need your own ChatGPT account, but then you should see this thing, and then you can just go through it, see what it gives you. So I did an interesting exercise the other day. As I've got an accountant who's a client who's an accountant, but he's also developed a new product. It's like he calls it a fire pit. So it's a bra on steroids, basically. It burns clean and it's fantastic. You can put this thing on your glass and you won't damage anything. It's amazing. It's a relatively expensive product, so he wants to sell it. So I said, okay, let's build a ChatGPT. Use this model, sorry, and give it your answers, not with your accountant hat on, but with your fire pit answer on. And I sat back and I watched him. So I muted myself and I watched him do this whole process. And it was quite incredible because the GPT adapts to each individual circumstance. It's quite phenomenal. Also, what you'll notice, let me just share this with you. If you let me just get to so that I can just show you. You'll see I've got a microphone here. Okay, so there's a thing called voice control for ChatGPT. Okay. Voice control for ChatGPT. It's a Chrome extension. It's free. So you install that thing. Now, if I click on here, I can just talk and ChatGPT will write whatever the hell I say. And when I'm done, I click this button and it will say it. Okay. I don't know what crap we're going to get now because I've given it a. Sounds like you're trying to confirm if your message is well submit correctly. You see, this is ChatGPT. But the point being that when you get to this, right, and you start this process and you get to question 1 of your job description, then you just go, I'm a business broker. Click next. Right, thanks. Which year were you born? 1967. So you don't sit and type like for days like you used to. You just talk your answers all the way through. It's beautiful. Okay, I think I've screwed with your brains enough for one day. But yeah, get that the walkie-talkie ChatGPT extension and talk to chat. So for this sort of thing, it's just easy. It's like just pretend you're talking to me. Just talk the answers and it'll type it in. Yeah, don't worry about typos and just talk and hit send. Chat knows.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. All right, I thought I would just share that little tidbit with you.
Thanks for that. I've heard about the talking stuff, but I hadn't figured out how to do it. So that's brilliant. Thank you.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's so easy when you talk to it. So yeah. All right, folks. That's a wrap for today. We'll see you next week, and we'll I haven't quite decided if I'm going to talk to you about messaging or filters. I'll work it out one or the other. I'll think what's logical. We'll get you going so that you can start using these profiles that you've built to start connecting with the right people and start building your network. So hopefully you're going to start generating some clients.
I think you left us speechless.
All right, cool.
And
All right, guys.
Thanks, James.
See you next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Keep
Bye,
well.
everyone.
You're welcome. All right, cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.